Today I'm going to show you how to do a super simple Mobius cast on. A Mobius is basically a tube with a single twist in it. That means that it has a single surface and a single edge. When we cast it on, we cast on in the center, and then we work simultaneously towards both edges. So with every round, I'm doing a row on the top and a row on the bottom. It makes it so that you go really fast as you are working on this. And so to start out with, you are going to need a circular needle that is roughly twice the length of what you would normally use. For a cowl, I would usually use like a 16-inch needle, but today I'm using a 42-inch one, and that's because this cable needs to run all the way around the top and around the bottom of my work. I'm going to start off by doing a simple slip knot, and I really only need about a 6-inch tail, just long enough to weave in at the end. I'm going to hold my right working needle in my right hand, then I'm going to grab the center of my circular needle cable. I'm going to hold both of those in my right hand, and I can let the left working needle dangle. This is what I call my cable loop. I'm going to put my slip knot onto my right working needle and tighten it, and then just for the first few stitches, I'm going to hold on to that tail to keep it out of the way. And here is how you actually cast on. It's super simple. All that you are going to do is reach your left hand into the cable loop, grab the ball of yarn, and wrap it over your cable, your circular needle cable, and over your working needle. So again, I'm going to reach through my cable loop and wrap it around. Every time I do that, I'm casting on 2 stitches. So I've got one on the cable needle and one on the working needle. I don't count my slip knot. So again, wrap it over the cable and the working needle, and we are off to the races. We are just going to keep on casting on 2 stitches every time that I reach into my cable loop. So if my pattern calls for me to cast on 200 stitches, I am going to do this action of reaching into my cable loop and wrapping around 100 times, because every single time that I do that, I'm casting on 2 stitches. When I get a few stitches on the needle, I can let them fall off onto the 2 cables. But again, they're still going to always be on two cables as I work. And I'm just going to keep going. And there's a lot of different Mobius cast-ons available. This one is something that I adapted from Jeny Staiman's blog. If you're familiar with Jeny's Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off, it is the same Jeny. So as I get close to the end here, I'm going to evenly distribute my stitches around. And that is it. That is cast on. You are done. What I am going to do now, though, is show you the first row, because these stitches don't look like normal stitches, and so even though they behave like normal stitches, they don't really look like them. So you can see that that slip knot is actually on the cable. It's not going to be near the first stitch that you work. So slide your stitches up to the tip of your left needle. And I am a continental knitter, so I'll be showing you continental here first. So you insert your needle just like you would normally knit a stitch. You grab that yarn and you slip it off your needle. And that's the first knit stitch. Again, you insert like normal, wrap the yarn, pull it through, and slide it off your needle. I'm going to show you a few English style Please excuse how awkward I look when I try to knit English. You wrap it around and you slide the stitch off. Insert, wrap the yarn, pull it through, and slide the stitch off. Insert, wrap the yarn, pull the yarn through, and slide it off. And you can see that I'm pulling this cable along all the time. It's always going to be running parallel to my working needles for these first few rows. So back to continental, where I look like I know what I'm doing. You're going to just keep on working. And if you need to purl, you insert the same way, just like a normal purl stitch. And just keep on evenly distributing the stitches around your needles like you would normally when you're working in the round. So we'll just keep working here for a few stitches. And soon we're going to get halfway around the round, but you've gone around your circle a full time. So we're approaching that slip knot, which is actually exactly halfway around your round. So again, we do not knit this slip knot. All we are going to do is slide the slip knot off of our needle and drop it. That will ensure that you have an even number of stitches for your Mobius and that you don't have an extra stitch on midway through. So then you're going to keep working. After you get rid of that slip knot, things are going to be a lot looser. It's going to be easier to work because the back end of all of these stitches has already been worked. So things go a lot faster from here on out. But again, you're just going to keep on evenly distributing and you're going to keep on working. And you can do this in whatever your pattern calls for. If it's saying that you need to knit all of your stitches, knit all of your stitches. If it's saying knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. Whatever your individual pattern calls for. And eventually we are getting close to the end of the round. But like I said, with a Mobius, every time that you do a full round, you are adding a row to the top and to the bottom. So we have a full Mobius, we've got a twist in it, and you are all set up and ready to keep working from the center out on your Mobius. And eventually you can have a cowl like this or whatever else you're doing a Mobius cast on for.